Okay, so this is Harvey. I'm sure you guys have seen him on the other videos. And I wanted to just show you guys some groundwork stuff that you can do that's really oriented towards dressage. So, you know, a lot of groundwork we think of that's more oriented towards Western work, but you can do a lot from the ground that's going to help with your dressage moves. So the first thing that you can teach your horse is a turn on the forehand. So what you want to do is you want to have the reins over their head. And I haven't done a ton of groundwork with him, so this will be good. I have with me, this is a carbon fiber rod. You can use just like a regular riding whip if you don't have one of these, or a bamboo stick. The carbon fiber, it doesn't sting as much as a regular whip, so when I touch him with it, it's a little more of a dull tone to it as opposed to like a sharp one that might give them a welt or something. So what I start with is I get a hold of the reins as if I were riding. So I have my left hand is up by near his mouth. My right hand is on the right rein that's over his neck. And then the first thing that I want to do is I want to get him stepping forward. So when you want to drive your horse forward, you need to get behind the shoulder. So I'm going to step till I'm a little behind the shoulder. Then I'm going to use my stick and give him a little cluck and ask him to step forward. Once he's stepping forward, I kind of have him going on a circle here around me. I'm going to take a little contact and I want him to flex at the pole as if I'm riding and step forward. So if he doesn't step forward, I give him a little tap with the stick on his croup. Now I'm going to turn this more into a turn on the forehand. So I'm going to make little half halts with my right rein and I'm going to touch him on his left hip. What I'm looking for, I'm watching his left hind leg. That his left hind leg is stepping forward and across his right hind leg. And I also want his shoulder moving away from me. So I'll try and do it wrong. So you'll find some, like see here his shoulder's leaning towards me. So if your horse is like this, coming on top of you, and you're backing away from your horse, that's not what you want. What you want is that both the shoulder and the hind leg are moving away from you. So that the horse isn't pushing on top of you and that you're stepping a little bit towards your horse. So you can see I'm not taking huge steps, but I'm moving a little bit towards him and he's moving out of my way. Good boy. And to start with, when you do this, you just get a few steps at a time and then reward your horse, because if you ask for too many steps, they're going to get frustrated. So you want to make sure to do the same thing from the right. Oh, you're okay. And he's he knows what's coming, so he's already trying to start. Hey, just wait. Good boy. So I just kind of reassure him if he's an overachiever, so sometimes I have to just take a minute and pet him and make him wait until I ask him to do the turn. So then same thing this way. I have my left rein is over his neck. Oh, just wait. Good boy. Good boy. So I get my left hand on my left rein, my right hand on my right rein. I take a little contact. I ask him to step forward. And then as he steps forward and that contact is there, he flexes at the pole. And then now I'm looking at the right hind leg. So I want the right hind leg stepping in front of the left hind leg. And a lot of you guys are going to find that your horses are going to be like on top of you. So they're going to be like coming this way. You're going to find that you're going to want to be backing away. And you need to kind of push yourself, like push your hand into your horse's shoulder. Use your whip, get your horse to move away from you. This is not only for the turn on the forehand, but it's also about respect, that your horse needs to respect your space. And when you step into their space, they have to move away from you. So once you have this turn on the forehand mastered, the next thing that you can do is leg yielding. So basically I use a little more outside rein, and then I turn this into a leg yield. And this is a really useful, I do this with all my young horses. I teach them the leg yield on the ground prior to teaching them the leg yield under saddle, because you get in way less fights and it's really easier for the horse to understand it from the ground. So same thing, I'm watching the right hind leg stepping in front of the left hind, and also the right front leg stepping in front of the left front. So once you have the leg yield mastered, you can actually teach them a half pass also. So by just changing the flexion. So I'm going to start with my leg yield. Now I'm going to ask him to flex left. And you see, I haven't done this with him before, so he's a little like, what are we doing? So I'm saying flex left, but still move away, good boy, from the whip. And you can see he gets a little sticky with that. When I ask him to flex left, he's not sure that he can stay moving over. So this is another thing that you can work on from the ground that's going to help when you're riding. So I'll start again, leg yield, keep him stepping forward, change to left flexion, keep him moving over, good boy. And a lot of horses have trouble understanding this, that when you flex them left, they still should move over. Good boy, oh, good boy. So I'm going to do the same thing from this direction. I'll start with my leg yields. Good boy. Walking forward. And I have a little bit more trouble with him getting this horse to flex in the jaw to the left. There. So I'm going to anticipate that when you do a leg yield, like when I'm leg yielding here, I want that his jaw is flexing left and he's into my right rein. Good. Good boy. Good boy. And if your horse stops, like a few times there he got a little stuck, I just gave him a little tap with my stick to encourage him to keep walking forward. So now I'm going to try my leg yield. Now I'm going to flex him right and half pass. You can see this way's easier for him. Half pass. Now flexion left, leg yield. Good boy. Good. Good boy. And it's easier this way, so I can feel on the ground that the right half pass is easier than the left half pass, which is also what I feel under saddle. So I'm going to try this left half pass one more time. So I need to be able to flex him left and get that right hind leg to move over. And you can kind of turn it into like a renvers circle. So here he's flexing right, or sorry, he's flexing left here. So I'm in renvers left. Good boy. And then taking that into a left half pass. Good. Stepping forward. Good boy. You can just see that he struggles a little more this way. I'm going to do my renvers on a half circle. But if you guys are having problems in your half passes, in your leg yields when you're riding, doing some of this from the ground is really going to be useful and enlightening. Good boy. Oh. Good boy. Good boy. And you always want to make sure to stop and reward your horse. And especially with him, he needs a lot of reassurance because he gets kind of worried. So I want to make sure like that after all that I can touch him all over, that he's not afraid or upset. I can touch his ears. He doesn't like his ears touched. Oh, good boy. You're a good boy.